We set off with our sights on the capital of Bosnia, Sarajevo. Arriving late in the day, we took a walk in the city that night before returning to our accommodation. We had booked a tour with a guide who worked at the hostel early next morning. Surrounded by forested hills and mountains, the city, that by all previous reports was likely to be covered in fog, was dazzling in the clear morning light. After taking in the views and listening to some of the city's recent history by our guide Ivan, we were driven to his home area to get some food. The Bosnian War's impact on Sarajevo obviously looms large over the city. The city was besieged for 1,425 days, from 1992 to 1996, by the Yugoslav People's Army, then the Army of the Republika Srpska. Almost 14,000 people died during the siege. With that in mind, Ivan drove us towards the airport, which housed an interesting ray of hope for the Bosnian people during the siege.
One guy, he was an architect, his name is Trebević. He came up with the idea of the tunnel. So there had to be some way for us to bring supplies from the other side of the airport, and not just during the night to cross the runway, because you couldn't carry a lot of stuff if you wanted to sprint. So maybe 10-20 kilos was the max, but you had to bring in thousands and thousands of kilos every day in order for the city to survive.
The Sarajevo Tunnel, or Tunnel of Hope, was constructed between April and June 1993 under the airport runway, which had been secured by UN forces, to link the Bosnian controlled areas with the centre of Sarajevo. Imagining the people that walked back and forth through the tunnel, which at its full extent was over 800 metres, really brought home the strength of the human spirit under adversity. Ivan then drove us up to the heights of Trebević Mountain, where the expanse of the city rolled out before us. We then took a look inside a former luxury hotel, which had been gutted in the war. The hotel housed a sniper's nest, where gunmen terrorised the population of Sarajevo during the siege, killing many people, including children.
It's shooting back. If you look through the bullet hole, you can easily see from which house it was.
Another interesting location awaited further up the mountain. This is the Bobsleigh track from the Sarajevo 1984 Olympics. We couldn't quite get the car down it, but I'll take a run. Heading back into the city, I took a stroll around the old town, visiting the markets and boulevards, enjoying the interesting mix of architecture from the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian empires, amongst others. The dense historical context of Bosnia and Herzegovina were hard to fully appreciate during our short trip, but both the history and natural beauty of the place left me with a desire to return one day and discover more of the country.